Finding Happiness Despite Experiencing Trauma, presented by Dr. Raymond Shockey, Director of the Life Source Center. Funding provided by a grant from the Town Fair Tire Foundation.
Hello, my name is Dr. Ray Shockey, and today's topic will be finding happiness despite experiencing early trauma. And many people who have experienced trauma, even as adults, it affects how they see themselves, how they perceive their world, and how they behave. And today what we want to look at is different ways that people who have experienced trauma can see the world differently and can experience it differently and move them closer to the ultimate goal is a happy and fulfilling life. The first thing I wanted to mention to you is recognizing that you as in your early life, if you've experienced trauma, are not the cause of the problem, are not the reason that you are the way you're feeling. Really, as a child, you had to feel trust in the adult figure, the authority figure, someone who really is going to be ultimately the person who will take care of you, be it a parent, an associate, a teacher, anyone in authority. And then you get ambushed by a person who's not trusting, who is out to control you and present a world to you that is not true, but fulfilling that person's needs as opposed to your needs. And if you hear that many times, you hear that often enough, you tend to internalize that and you tend to take that on. So you must understand that how you were raised, what experience you had as a child is not your responsibility. It's the responsibility of the caretakers. And if you have a trusting, loving caretaker, that's a great experience. If you don't, that's going to affect you adversely, not only in terms of your thoughts, also in your behavior. So be aware that you're not responsible for being an easy target for other adults. The other thing is to be aware that even though this person is no longer around, maybe living in another country, maybe deceased, that can still affect your behavior and how you think. And you must know that if you're taking on as an adult those perceptions that you had as a child, those are lies that were fed to you often enough that you tend to believe them. And in believing them, you tend to behave in ways that reinforce that. So you really lose sight of who you are as a person because of the influences of a toxic relationships in the early part of your life, okay? So another thing we need to do is, in order to get beyond that, is to focus on the person that you want to be. Now, that may be hard for you to do. You know, how do I want to be? If you made it to adulthood, you must have experienced strengths that you may take for granted. Well, everybody has that. It's no big deal. No. If you've reached adulthood, there are strengths that you've taken on. Focus on those strengths and begin to think about and actually write what kind of person you want to be. And that's important because you're concretely conceptualizing what attributes, how do you want to present yourself, even though you may not feel that way, but you have enough going for yourself to visualize what would I like to be, how would I like my behavior to be. And in writing it down, there's going to be a natural propensity to move yourself in that direction. It's important to know that that would be a new thing for you. So you're going to feel frustrated that you can't immediately experience or grow. So there's going to be a tendency to say, well, you know, I'm not that kind of person. I'm never going to achieve that kind of being. However, if you can push through that resistance and continue to behave in a way that you want to be, you'll begin to internalize that. And that's going to be an important thing for you to do. Okay? Begin to treat yourself as a valuable person. Because of early trauma, there's tendency to kind of belittle yourself and look for negative things to occur to you. And those negative things that occur reinforce these preconceived ideas that you have of yourself. You need to really see yourself as valuable. You need to become a good parent to yourself, to see your strengths, to see if indeed you've reached, as I said to you earlier, adulthood and have gone through all kinds of barriers. You have strengths that, again, you don't recognize. You need to be aware of that. And in doing that, you'll begin to see yourself as valuable, as a person who has a right to good things, as a right to be on this earth, who has something to give not only to themselves, but also to the world at large. Okay? A lot of times you're not going to feel that. You're not going to feel like doing something that's going to be counter to what you're used to doing. But you need to move a muscle. You need to push yourself forward. And in moving a muscle and trying something different, you're getting out of that circle, that repetitive behavior, and you're pushing yourself beyond that. And in moving yourself, you're going to be successful because you're going to have new experiences. So look at moving a muscle, changing a behavior, no matter how minute it may be. It's a progression towards your ultimate goal, which is seeing yourself as what you truly are, a positive, better person. Develop a positive outlook on life. Every setback you're going to experience, because life is not a bed of roses, you're going to see that as an opportunity. Any mistake that you made should not be dwelled upon, should be treated as, what did I learn from this? What did I experience that will change my behavior? To change what has been perceived as a negative, like, oh, I did it again, I'm never going to change, this is who I am. No, what did I learn from this? What kind of behavior do I need to change that's different? And knowing that it's not going to happen automatically, it's going to be one step forward, 2 steps back. But as you persist, that's the critical part. Persisting and clarity as to your goal, because you've written it down, you know what you want to be. That persistent will get you ultimately to a higher place, okay? It's never going to be perfect, because none of us are perfect, but it'll move you towards a more perfect, happy, fulfilling life, okay? Find, very important, purpose in life. What is your purpose? Why are you here? It's important to get that. And a lot of people will say, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm here, what my purpose is, etc. You need to put in the work. You need to put in the energy in order to find that out. And in finding purpose to your life, when things go bad, as they invariably do, you'll find meaning and purpose, which will move you forward. These are just some thoughts. It's not the end-all, be-all. There's so many ways, individual ways for you to find happiness and fulfillment. I want you to listen to what I've shared with you, to use those thoughts, those suggestions, those strategies as jumping off point for a future world that you want to develop for yourself. You want to take charge of. You don't want other people to, as they have in the past, take charge of your life. Your life is for you to have that personal power, and that's your ultimate goal. Okay? Good luck. Take care.
A special thank you to the Town Fair Tire Foundation for making the production Finding Happiness Despite Experiencing Trauma possible. Presented by Raymond Shockey. Services can be obtained by contacting the LifeSource Center. LifeSourceCenter@AOL.com, LifeSourceCenter.org. Video production including editing and voiceover by jscottvoices.com.